about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about comics. Rob YouTube, it is Charles here. Today I'm going to talk about Something is Killing the Children, number 42, from Boom Studios. This is a series I look forward to every issue. It's one of the more popular independent comics being printed right now, and earlier this week I took a look at issue number 1, and I have said in the past I will not review it unless I feel like there's something unique that I can add, and for me is how grounded the storytelling is, which adds a layer to the horror aspect of it. I've always thought there was something different, something special in this, in the way that the writers of this story tell the story, and something that's different than most. And it's down to the mundanity. It's down to you're taking experiences and things that we see on an everyday basis and violently thrashing them against horror aspects, supernatural aspects. And we start here, and it's the protagonist. This is almost a prequel, if you will. This is Erica as she is beginning her journey as an apprentice monster hunter with her mentor, Jessica, who is really struggling with this life and alcohol addiction and dealing with the stress of not only monster hunting, monsters that most adults can't see and don't have to deal with, but taking on this young mentee who has been traumatized. And so that's where we start, and we cut to from that. You see this sleepy little town and this, resort, if you will, this snow-covered resort. And being in Wyoming, in the Rocky Mountain area, I know exactly what that looks like, what that feels like. And the feeling of beauty and desolation, it encapsulates. And you go from those two completely mundane scenes of Jessica and Erica traveling to this small town. The small town, you get to see the overview. And then we cut to two guys working in a general store, a convenience store, kind of shooting the breeze on, what do you prefer, a slow day or a fast day? And it's something I can relate to because before I became disabled, I was a convenience store clerk for most of my adult life, and I absolutely loved the job. On busy days, the day flew by. You're always moving, you're always cleaning. 8 hours feels like an hour, if that. On a slow day, your mind gets to wander, you get to take your time. And it's almost like a meditation state you get in when you're dusting, when you're cleaning. The rhythm of ringing up a customer and doing these same tasks at a pace where you can slow down and almost transcend the moment. I know that sounds like I'm trying to get abstract. I'm not. It was one of my favorite things about the work I did. It was always busy, but it allowed me to create. I'm a musician, so I'd even written whole songs in my head, working behind the convenience store counter. And I get home, I pick up my guitar, play them out, boom, it's a song. But they're discussing, you can tell from the way that they're drawn and the tension in their eyes that this mundane discussion is covering up something traumatic, a group trauma that they've all experienced. And when the sheriff comes in, it goes from discussing the mundanity of the work to, you see his puzzled look right here, and they want to know, okay, what's the news? What's happened? Have there been more? And if you're a new reader, this creates a certain amount of suspense because you may not know exactly what Something is Killing the Children is about. But if you are a reader, you know that this is a small town experiencing a rash of monster killings of children. And, it's brought back in this cold reality. That mundanity really makes the horror that much more scary because it's that much more real. And we cut from that scene with the two store clerks and the sheriff to Erica and Jessica checking into the motel, which is a nice character beat. You get to see Erica and Jessica, how their relationship is developing, the dynamic that persists even into adulthood. And so we get some nice character beats in between meeting the town. And that's the great thing about the writing here, is that you get to meet the town, you get to meet the players, and it's all subtextual. And then by the time you actually figure out what's going on, why Erica and Jessica are in that town, we have a brilliant scene between the resort manager, who is the mayor and runs the town, and the sheriff. And they're comparing their situation to Jaws and trying to weigh the economic impact of keeping the resort open or closed, and possibly saving lives because something is going on that they don't understand. I'm going to stop right there, giving you the point by point, blow by blow, because I want you to be able to experience this story for yourself, but it only gets better from there. If you are not a comic book reader, or you're wanting to jump into something, if you like horror and stuff that you can go back to multiple times and find something new, Something is Killing the Children is right for you. And this is part 2 of a new story arc. So you can hop in on issue 41. If you can't find 41, get 42. You're not going to be missing much from this arc because this is just the second part. You can find it at your local comic book stores. If you don't have a local comic book store, I always suggest my friend Jeff at coffeeandacomic.com in Huntington Beach, California. They're having 2 great sales on back issues, up to 60% off. And they're having a buy one, get one free type deal on their website. So go check them out. Sign up with them so you can receive the newsletter and be updated on all the great deals they have going on. I'm going to link to their YouTube page in this video here so you can check them out. A great veteran-owned business out of California. And if you're in Wyoming, check out my friends at Spellbound Apothecary and Entertainment. That's where I got this issue from. If you're in the state of Wyoming, they ship for free when you order over $35 worth of books. So check them out. I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I'm out.